What is up, y'all? My name is Rhino Spartan, and roughly 3 months ago, I made a video where I redesigned my first ever ship in Space Engineers so that it would both look better and have better functionality. Since y'all seem to enjoy that video relatively more than my others, I have decided to redesign 3 more of my own ships. Specifically, my second ship, my third ship, and my fourth. Even though these ships do not look good or function well, they are still built around interesting ideas that I want fully realized. Rather than ditching these ships entirely, I have decided to enhance their designs now that my building skills have improved. I knew this would be a difficult process since the designs were equivalent to that of pig excrement, but I did it anyway. I began this process by redesigning the shape of my fourth ship. The main idea behind this ship is that it was built by aliens who are trying to replicate human technology. This ship was inspired by the Covenant ships from the Halo series, hence the purple color scheme. I decided to completely redo the shape of this ship as the original was simply a flying cylinder. Since the original ship was based off the Covenant ships from the Halo series, I gave the redesign similar geometry to these Covenant ships. For the middle section, I decided to create an entry point similar to the one found on the cruiser in Halo Reach's Long Night of Solace mission. After completing the general shape of the ship, I began work on the interior. On the original design, there were thruster modules that appeared to be floating on the sides of the ship. This was achieved by using the railing double block. Since the railing double has 2 hitboxes but acts as 1 block, you can place 2 blocks on either side of the railing and it will appear as if the 2 blocks are not touching each other. This allows for the thrusters to appear as if they're not connected to the ship, but rather held in place by heavily advanced technology. In my energy shield video, I explained how I was able to use target dummy projections as a spawnable solid surface. By doing this, I was able to create a sort of hard light bridge similar to the one seen in Halo. If you would like to know more on how this exploit works, you can watch that video by clicking the link in the description. After multiple hours of building, I completed the redesign of the alien ship. Even though I changed the shape of the ship, it still maintained characteristics of the one preceding it, such as the paint job, the thrusters, and its general size. The one problem I have with this redesign is its large size relative to the original. Despite its large size, I am still content on how this ship turned out. After completing the alien ship, I got to work on my third ship. The Aviator support ship was meant to be a support ship for my first. Since this ship was meant to complement my first, it shares similar visual details with it. However, now that my first ship is different, the redesign has to match it in appearance. On the original design, the bridge section had a triangular shape. Instead of having the front section triangle shaped, I decided to make it a half circle like the first ship redesign. After completing the exterior shape, I began construction on the interior. Even though I had limited internal space, I was still able to create a decent interior. Once I finished the interior, I began adding the turrets and other necessary components. After I added the weapons and components, I gave the redesign the same stripe pattern as the original. After approximately 2 to 3 hours of building, I successfully redesigned my third ship into something that looks pretty decent. Unlike the alien ship redesign, this redesign has almost the same dimensions as the original. The original ship was 24 blocks long and 23 blocks wide. The redesign is 25 blocks long and 25 blocks wide. Out of all the redesigns in this video, this one took the least amount of time and also shares the most amount of similarities with its predecessor. And I am satisfied with how it turned out. After completing the Aviator support ship, I got to work on my second ship. Despite this ship being my second, it somehow looks and performs worse than my first. This thing is essentially a flying brick. Since this ship has the least appealing design, I knew it would be the most difficult to redesign. Just like the other two, I started out by framing the front section of the ship and worked my way to the back. The basic idea for this ship is that it is a freighter which is used to transport ore and ice. On the original design, there was almost nothing connecting the back and front sections of the ship. So in this design, I decided to create a proper middle section. In the middle section, I placed 10 cargo containers, which were designated to store all the ores in the game and ice. I also colored them based on the elements they're supposed to contain. After completing the shape of the exterior, I got to work on the large hangar for the drill ships and the rest of the interior. I found building the interior for the back section to be especially difficult. I had trouble giving it a decent appearance, but after roughly 45 minutes of building, I was able to make it appealing to the eye. When I finished the interior layout and conveyor systems, I started painting. It was refreshing to see color after looking at a white ship for almost 2 hours. During the painting process, I made a few changes to the interior. After making some finishing touches, the ore freighter redesign was completed. Even though the original was quite lackluster, I was still able to make a decent ship out of it. Just like the support ship redesign, this ship has similar dimensions with its original. This redesign is 23 blocks wide, whereas the original is 19 blocks wide. This redesign may not be the same size as the original, but it is still quite close. Considering all the visual changes and system alterations, I am quite satisfied with how this ship turned out. Even though these ships aren't perfect, they turned out much better than their predecessors. This, of course, was the goal of building these ships. If you want to check out these ships as well as their originals for yourself, the workshop links are down in the description. Since I couldn't think of a good name for the ore freighter, I'm going to give y'all a chance to give it a good name. So if you want to, you can leave your suggested name in the comments section. And please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.